My name is Tommy, and I served in Navy, and then from 87 to 95 in San Diego, California. When I got out of the Navy, you're thinking, not knowing that my life is not washed up, but starting to think, well, what I'm gonna do? I done spent 8 years in the military, and starting things wasn't going so well. When things wasn't going so well, that's when I started thinking I had lost, my life. I'm washed up, And so you start thinking, well, this is how my life gonna be, and you get depressed because you're looking at the goals that you thought you haven't accomplished or you can't accomplish. So I was overly thinking things that wasn't true. So that led and compounded and just kept compounding till your brain is being stretched. My brain was just being stretched, couldn't take it no more. If I felt depressed or felt like I was getting stressed out, porn shop or go on them phone number things and you're gonna meet somebody. I'm gonna meet somebody, I already know that. When you have a sex addiction, you all want your next person you're trying to conquer or trying to get in the sack. It's like a hunt, and then once you conquer it, then you on to the next. And then you're not trying to build a relationship. I kept that away from my family. And then they just figured I had changed. They didn't know I'm struggling with no depression and sexuality. So, and then I kept that away. And nobody don't want to hear you, what? You're gay. If you fell on your head, they don't want to hear that. And, it's not talked about, especially mental health. You like ostracized. People don't, that's a no-no, that's a taboo. I started spending a lot of money. I came into some partnership money, so I spent all this money, and that led into a downward spiral, topping on with all my stress. So I was losing weight, and I didn't know why I was losing weight. And the lady said, "You're depressed." I said, "I'm not depressed. Depression don't make you lose weight." And she said, "You don't understand depression." But I had went to New York, and I couldn't find the bridge. I couldn't find the bridge. I was gonna go to the bridge and jump. I'll cost myself, I would commit suicide. I'm not gonna do it in my state because everybody know me here. I don't want to embarrass my family. And then I thought about it. I said, well, I just have to get real with myself. I just stop overthinking things because like the doctors was telling me, you're not the only person that's going through this. Now, do they have a magic wand that's gonna get you out of it overnight? No. You're just gonna have to go through it, but you're gonna have to learn coping mechanisms, which they gave. The VA talk therapy, it really works. You're talking about your life. And you go around a group and share, and you see other people that you're not this lone ranger dealing with depression. You're not by yourself dealing with, this is common stuff everybody dealing with, but we as men, we put up these exteriors so nobody gets to see that we're dealing with these things. And then when you open up and you say, oh, okay, this person dealt with this too, and this is how they came out of it. It's great to be always buff and rough and strong for everybody, but at the end of the day, who you fooling? Who you fooling, you're hurting yourself. So you gotta have some emotion. This is just a short thing I'm going through. Go through it. And then I can help somebody else, so I have that mindset. If I go through this, I can tell somebody else, this is how I came up out of it. You're not alone. It's people that are there that's not gonna judge you. Open up, show your human side. Stop trying to be a robot. Show your soft side, be vulnerable, open up. It's people there that's willing to help you and will go overboard to help you. The solution may not solve it overnight. And you might not got in that problem overnight, so it's gonna take a process. Be willing to go through the process.